Hello and welcome to English Listening Tips. I'm Julia, and today we're going to talk about something many English learners struggle with: speaking quickly and fluently without losing clarity. Have you ever found yourself in a conversation with native English speakers, trying to keep up but feeling like your mouth just can't form the words fast enough? Or maybe you speak slowly because you're worried about making mistakes? Well, you're definitely not alone. Speaking at a natural pace is really important when using English in real life situations. If you speak too slowly, people might interrupt you, misunderstand you, or simply lose interest. Plus, when you can speak more fluently, you'll feel much more confident in your English abilities. Today, I'll share 6 practical techniques that will help you speak English more quickly and fluently, along with some daily exercises you can start using right away. These tips have helped many English learners, and I'm sure they'll help you too. Before we dive into the techniques, let's talk about why speaking at a natural pace actually matters. First, in real conversations, you need to keep up with the flow. Native speakers won't always slow down for you, especially in group settings. When you can speak at a similar pace, communication becomes much smoother. Second, speaking too slowly can actually lead to more misunderstandings, not fewer. When your speech is very slow, the other person might lose track of what you are trying to say or might interrupt because they think you've finished your thought. And third, when you speak more fluently, something amazing happens. Your listening comprehension improves too. This is because you become more familiar with the natural rhythm and speed of English, making it easier to understand others. But here's an important point. Speaking quickly doesn't mean being unclear. The goal is to speak at a natural pace while still pronouncing words properly. It's about finding that perfect balance between speed and clarity. The first and perhaps most important technique is to start thinking in English instead of translating in your head. This mental translation process is often what slows learners down the most. When you have a thought in your native language, then translate it to English, then speak it out loud. That's 3 steps. Native speakers only need 1 step: think and speak. So how can you practice thinking in English? Here are some simple exercises. Try describing your surroundings in English as you go about your day. What do you see? What are you doing? For example, as you make breakfast, narrate in your head, "I'm cracking an egg into the pan. The coffee smells good." Have conversations with yourself in English. When you're alone, talk through problems or plans in English rather than your native language. Change your phone or social media language settings to English. This forces your brain to process English throughout the day. This takes practice, but over time, you'll notice yourself forming thoughts directly in English, which allows you to speak much more quickly and naturally. My second tip is to build a collection of common phrases and sentence starters that you can use automatically without having to construct them from scratch each time. Think of these phrases as ready-made building blocks. When you have them prepared in your mind, you can say them quickly and then focus your mental energy on the unique part of what you want to express. For example, instead of trying to construct a new way to give your opinion every time, you can use phrases like, "I think that," "in my opinion," "from my perspective," "it seems to me that," or for buying time when you need to think, "Let me think about that." That's an interesting question. Well, I'd say that learn standard phrases for everyday situations like ordering food, asking for directions, or making small talk. When these phrases become automatic, you'll speak much more fluently. I recommend making a small collection of these useful phrases and practicing them until they roll off your tongue without any effort. You might even record yourself saying them and listen back to hear how you sound. The third technique is about managing those moments when you're not sure what to say next. Many English learners, and even native speakers, fill these gaps with sounds like or phrases like you know or like. While these filler words are common, using too many of them can make your speech sound less fluent and confident. Instead, try using strategic pauses. A brief pause gives you time to think without breaking the flow of your speech. It also makes you sound more thoughtful and deliberate. Here's a simple exercise to practice this. Try speaking about any topic for 1 minute without stopping and without using filler words. If you need to pause to think, that's fine. Just pause silently. This might feel uncomfortable at first, but it's a powerful way to train yourself. Another helpful approach is to prepare answers to common questions in advance. Think about questions you're often asked in English, about your job, your hobbies, your country, or your opinions on common topics. Having ready answers will reduce your need for fillers. Remember, even native speakers pause when speaking. A well-placed pause can actually make your speech more effective, not less. The fourth technique is one of my favorites: shadowing. This is where you repeat what you hear from a native speaker immediately after you hear it, like an echo. Shadowing is powerful because it helps you adopt the natural rhythm, speed, and intonation of native speech without having to think about what to say. Here's how to do it. Find a short audio or video clip of a native English speaker. This could be from a podcast, YouTube video, or movie scene. Choose something with clear speech at a moderate pace. Play a small section, pause, and then repeat exactly what you heard, trying to match the speaker's speed and intonation. As you get better, try to shadow with smaller and smaller gaps until you're speaking almost simultaneously with the recording. Focus not just on the words, but on copying the speed, the emphasized words, and the natural rises and falls in the speaker's voice. This trains your mouth to move in the patterns needed for faster English speech. Start with simple content and gradually move to more complex materials. Even just 5-10 minutes of shadowing practice daily can make a huge difference in your speaking fluency. The fifth technique takes shadowing a step further. Don't just repeat what native speakers say, but truly imitate them. This means copying their tone of voice, pronunciation, and even body language and facial expressions. Find an English speaker you enjoy listening to, maybe an actor, YouTube personality, or podcast host. Watch short clips of them speaking and try to become them when you practice. Notice how they form certain sounds, where they place emphasis in sentences, and how their voice rises and falls. Record yourself imitating them and compare your recording to the original. How close did you get? What differences do you notice? This might feel a bit silly at first, but it's incredibly effective. When you physically imitate how native speakers use their voice and mouth, you're training your speech muscles to work in the patterns needed for fluent English. Many successful language learners say that having an English persona, almost like acting as a different character when speaking English, help them become more fluent. It's like creating a version of yourself that naturally speaks English the way native speakers do. My sixth tip is perhaps the most important for increasing your speaking speed. Don't overthink grammar while speaking. Many English learners get stuck in their heads, mentally checking if they're using the correct tense or word order before speaking. This slows you down tremendously and often leads to less fluent, more hesitant speech. Remember, fluency is more important than perfection, especially in everyday conversation. Native speakers make grammar mistakes all the time. The key difference is that they keep talking confidently regardless. Focus on using simple sentence structures that you're comfortable with, rather than trying to construct complex sentences on the fly. It's better to express your thoughts clearly with simple grammar than to get tangled in complicated structures. Of course, this doesn't mean grammar isn't important. It absolutely is. But grammar should be studied and practiced separately from fluency practice. When you're focusing on speaking quickly, give yourself permission to make some mistakes and keep going. While working on speaking more quickly, there are a few common pitfalls to avoid. First, don't sacrifice clarity for speed. Speaking too quickly without clear pronunciation will actually make it harder for others to understand you. The goal is natural speed, not racing through your words. Second, don't neglect pronunciation. Mispronouncing keywords can lead to misunderstandings, no matter how fluently you speak otherwise. Focus on the sounds that are most important for being understood. Third, be careful not to overuse filler words. As we discussed earlier, too many ums and likes can make your speech sound less confident and fluent. And finally, don't just practice alone. While solo practice is valuable, you need real conversations to truly develop your fluency. Find language exchange partners, join conversation clubs, or take any opportunity to speak with others in English. Now let's talk about some practical exercises you can do every day to build your speaking speed. The 1-minute speech. Pick any topic and speak about it for 1 minute without stopping. Time yourself and aim to say more while staying clear each time you practice. Daily shadowing. Spend 10 minutes shadowing content from native speakers, gradually increasing the speed and complexity. Read aloud. Practice reading English texts out loud, focusing on speaking at a steady pace. Start slow and gradually increase your speed while maintaining clear pronunciation. Dedicated English time. Set aside 10 minutes each day when you only speak English, either with someone else or by yourself. During this time, think and speak only in English, no matter how challenging it might be. Record and review. Record yourself speaking and listen back. Are there words or phrases where you slow down? Practice those specific parts until they become smoother. The key with all these exercises is consistency. Even 10 minutes of focused practice each day will make a huge difference over time. Your speech muscles need regular training to become comfortable with faster English speaking patterns. So, there you have it, 6 powerful techniques for speaking English more quickly and fluently. Think in English instead of translating. Use common phrases and sentence starters. Avoid filler words and use strategic pauses. Practice shadowing native speakers. Imitate native speakers' speaking style. Don't overthink grammar while speaking. Remember, speaking fluently is a skill that can absolutely be learned with the right approach and consistent practice. You don't need special talent, just regular practice with these effective techniques. Start with just 10 minutes a day, and you'll be amazed at how your speaking speed and confidence improve over time. The key is patience and consistency. Small steps every day lead to big changes over time. I hope you found these tips helpful. In our next episode, we'll talk about how to improve your English pronunciation so you can be clearly understood even when speaking quickly. Thanks for listening to English Listening Tips, and I'll catch you in the next episode.